Hey, guys. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I am back again with another episode. Hey, y'all. It is Intentional Living with Sonja W. And we are back to assist you with starting your week off with just a little less chaos, okay? And I'm super excited that you guys are here today. Let me tell you, first of all, let me explain. My voice is a little rough. It's a little rough because listen, have you ever has your body ever decided that the middle of the night is the best time to wake up? That ever happened to you? So Sunday night, or I guess Saturday night, it would be. My body was like, 2 a.m. works. That's cool. Even though I got to wake up at 5 a.m. And I couldn't go back to sleep till 4. So I was tired. And then I decided to watch most of the Super Bowl because I was there for Usher. Yes. And now I'm tired, and now you hear it in my voice. So please ignore the voice. But I am here, and I am excited for today, okay? Now, I know that had nothing to do with anything, and I keep telling y'all that we're going to be in and out in 20 minutes. So I'm going to make sure that I stick to my time and not go rambling off like I typically do. But anyway, guys, I am again excited to help you guys just start your week off with just a little bit less chaos, for real, for real. And I do this with this podcast because it's so important that we start our weeks off with just some structure, with some focus, so that we can actually get what we desire to do done every single week. Okay, so that's why I started this podcast. I want to help us, me included, actually execute on the things that we desire to have happen in our lives. It's so important that we live intentionally because, oh man, God has an amazing plan and purpose for you. And if we don't get a wrangle, we don't get a hold on our time, a hold on the things that we focus on, then we may never reach the plans, the purposes, the dreams that God placed in our hearts, right? So that is what I'm here for, okay? So let me tell you, we always, every single week, we break down a couple of things to make sure that you start off your weekly review right. So number one, we look at one good thing that happened the week before, just to get our mindset right, to get our mindset set in the right direction so that we can actually plan and be excited about the goals and the dreams that we have. There's, again, I always talk about that, but there's research about that growth mindset, that it starts with the right mindset. It starts with the mindset set on what is good. I love what the Bible says. It says to look to things that are good, that are lovely, that are beautiful, that are peaceable. Look on those things, right? And it's so important that we do that. Then the next thing is that what's on the docket. So start getting that ready, okay? What's on your docket today? Because I'm going to want y'all to put that in the comments below, okay? So we're going to talk about what's on my docket because, we're talking about me right now. But I want you to put down what's in the docket for your life. And then we break down just a real quick intentional living topic where we're just talking about something that's going to cause you to live just a little bit more on focus, on dream, on plan, okay? And this week, we're going to be starting a series where I talk through one of the key things that I always help people through, and that's the stairwell to intentional living. I broke down 4 steps that helps every single person work through how to set up your life for intentional living. And that first one is acknowledging the dreams that are in your heart. We're going to talk about that today. And then we end out with a little bit of prayer because listen, prayer changes things. And I know that's the corny saying that everybody says, but let me tell you, there is power in prayer. And I want to agree with you about whatever you got going on this day. All right. So let's get into it. The one good thing. If you're here, if you're down below, type in the comments one good thing that happened to you last week. But let me tell you what happened to me last week. Okay. My one good thing is that I got my hair done. Okay. And I got a massage. Ooh, yes. It was a good day. one thing that I truly believe is that it's important to have a day of rest, right? A Sabbath day, a day to rest with God and all that kind of stuff. And typically I do, for the most part, do that on a Saturday. But I knew that this weekend was going to be busy. So I made sure that, and actually, it was so funny, it actually worked out perfectly. I wasn't thinking that far ahead. So yes, your intentional living coach. Good morning. Good morning. I love it. Scheduling meetings with new brokers. Okay, that's your docket. But let me tell y'all. Okay, so listen. I didn't plan out that far in advance. But I had made this Friday hair appointment. And when I saw that my weekend was going to be crazy, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the rest of the day off and get a massage and spend some extra time in God's presence. So that is what we do. I think it's so important. The key thing is that you're spending time to rest, right? So if you have a job where you are working all the time and you don't have a day that you can take and rest and not work, not do anything that causes you to make money, then you gonna be tired. So anyway, I took Friday off to pamper myself, got my hair done. You see it? Now, granted, if you are on the replay on Spotify, you don't see it, right? So definitely check out the replay on YouTube so you can see just what my hair is giving. Listen, my locks are locking because my loctician is amazing, okay? And I also got a massage, which was perfect timing because my trainer decided to up the ante this week and I was sore, y'all. Oh my gosh. He tried to kill me. I really believe it. I believe my trainer tried to kill me, but it's all right. I'm paying him to kill me, right? So that was my one good thing. Y'all, let me know what's one good thing that happened to you last week so that you can prepare for the week ahead. Go ahead and drop that in the comments, okay? And now we're going to talk about what's on the docket. All right. So what's on the docket in your life? I see Ashley, she's already on there scheduling meetings with brokers, getting it together so because she can get her life, get her things together. So I love it. I love it. And then for me, my docket. So I got a couple of things. One of the things is my first group, first connect group. So my church has connect group seasons, and this is the start of a new connect group season. And it's just the opportunity to come together in smaller groups to talk about topics that interest us, right? And what I'm doing, which I'm so excited about, me and my co-host, we're going to be doing a book club on The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips. Listen, she's not sponsoring me, but I need y'all to get that book. It is so clutch. It is so good because it talks about the importance of understanding your emotions, understanding that God gave you those emotions and how you can cultivate that garden within you. And she throws in all types of science. And if you've been following me, I love science. You know who I am, right? So the book is just chef's kiss. So anyway, prepping for that. And then my other thing is to finally get my podcast on Spotify. Listen, my goal last week was to actually record my trailer and get that up and then get the first episode of my podcast up. I didn't get it done. And actually, I want to stop right here. This isn't the intentional topic of the week, but I wanted to kind of hit this a little bit because I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, if I fail, it's over. And that is not what intentional living is. Intentional living is actually building systems. One, knowing what's your values, knowing your principles. And I'm going to talk about that in a couple of weeks, right? But then also acknowledging that dream, which I'm talking about today. And then building systems that help you make sure that you're always reviewing your goals, always reviewing your values, and always living in your values, always living in your life principles, right? So I failed last week. I didn't get what I wanted to get done with this particular goal, but that's fine because I'm doing this weekly review today so that I can see, what did I mess up? Like what didn't work out last week that didn't allow me to hit this goal? Okay, and now it's time to change that. So, and this is part of intentional living. A part of intentional living is having a growth mindset, not being stagnant and stuck in your failure, the things that didn't work out, the things that happened to you, but actually looking at them, analyzing them, and then building a system and building the next step to actually getting it done. That's actually one of the big things that I talk about in my review course. I have a course that helps people kind of walk through your quarterly review and walk through reviewing your year. And I talk about the importance of looking at your past but not getting stuck in your past, right? And so it's so important that we do that and that we have a healthy understanding of that importance. Okay. Now that was not the intentional topic of the week, but I had to hit that because I want to tell you guys, like, intentional living is looking at your life introspectively. There we go. We're going to use that word. And then building systems to make sure that you are continually moving forward. Okay. It's not just being perfect, because I am nowhere near perfect. Okay. All right. So let's get into this intentional topic of the week. So the intentional topic of the week is actually the start of a series that I'm going to be kind of unveiling in these next few weeks. Okay. And it is the Stairwell to Intentional Living. This is a 4-step process, or 4-step kind of pathway that I lead people on when I coach them to help them build the foundations that they need to build in their own lives, and then building the systems around that so that they can execute and live and all that kind of stuff. And the very first step to that is actually acknowledging your dreams. So I wanted to kind of talk through this. What does this mean to have this journey and to acknowledge your dreams, acknowledge the dreams that God gave you? Now, listen, just so you know, if you're watching, you're going to see me moving back and forth because, listen, okay, let me tell y'all, this is, okay, I'm going to ramble a little bit. All right. So I have a Bluetooth mouse, or I have a mouse that needs a little USB, but my USBs are currently occupied. I'm probably going to show y'all my setup at some point. So now I got to go reach for my laptop all the way over here. And then I'm looking at my screen and I'm looking, it's the whole thing. But anyway, I didn't need to tell y'all that. Let me get back on topic. Acknowledging the dream that God gave you. We're going to be talking about remembering the dream and making sure making sure that we're remembering it and how important it is to do that. So let me tell you a little story. Growing up, I just knew that I was going to be a pediatrician. Okay. I was going to go to college. I was going to get my medical degree, and I was going to save all the children, all of them, every last one of them. Okay. And it was a dream that I remembered that carried me through all of school, college, high school, college, all of those things, right? It was the dream that caused me to keep going when I actually failed a class in college. Now, for me, failing a class, oh my gosh. Oh, that was a horrible time in college, right? Because listen, I am a first generation a child of Caribbean immigrants, and when I'm first born and first generation, you must be perfect. Like, you have to do well. And that wasn't even something that my parents put on me. I put that on me, right? So when I failed a class in college, oh my gosh, it was horrible for me. But it was remembering the dream of being a pediatrician that kept me pushing, right? It was remembering the dream that got me to take the MCATs. It was remembering the dream that helped me to keep moving when things were not working how I wanted it to work. But guess what? The gag is I didn't actually become a pediatrician. But that's the beautiful thing about remembering the dream rightly. Okay, so I'm going to actually give you just 3 things that remembering my dream of being a pediatrician helped me to do. And it's going to help you build and acknowledge the dreams that God has placed on your heart too. Okay, so number 1, remembering the dream, remembering this desire to be a pediatrician throughout my life, it helped me direct my path. My dream dictated the classes that I took. It dictated the internships that I did. It even dictated my friends, the degree that I decided to take on, right? Because I had this dream and I knew that I needed to do these things to make this dream happen. It directed my path. The second thing that it did was that it helped me to focus. Remembering my dream caused me to focus, and even in disappointment, helped me to keep moving forward. I talked about how I failed the class, and also I got like my first C in college. Listen, that was a lot for me. Okay, I know that's not everybody's plight, but for me, it was devastating. Okay, anyway, so it helped me focus. Remembering the dream, remembering the desires of my heart helped me to focus in and make sure that I was able to get through the degree. Because listen, I learned that C's get degrees. Okay. That's what I learned. That's what I learned in college. Okay. All right. So, and then the final one is kind of a little bit different. It helped me, or it reminded me and caused me to pivot when necessary. So remembering the dream, right? It had me delve deep into my why I wanted to be a pediatrician. And understanding that why helped me to pivot when the time was right. So like I told you, I wanted to be a pediatrician all of my life. Like when I tell you all of my life, like I was telling family members that I was going to be a pediatrician when I was like in elementary school. Like that's how serious it was for me. Okay. But anyway, I I didn't become a pediatrician. And it wasn't because I couldn't. It actually was because I started to realize that it actually wasn't really what I wanted to do. And it was me analyzing that dream and understanding the why behind that dream that allowed me to pivot when the time was right. So for me, like I said, I didn't become a pediatrician. I actually went to school, got my degree in biological sciences. And my senior year, I'm telling you a little bit of my testimony. My senior year, I was watching all of my friends get actually excited about studying for the MCATs. Like, even though it was hard, they were excited about studying for it. And they were excited about going on hospital visits and all these different things. And I was starting to realize that I wasn't as excited. I wasn't as excited about the studying, and not because I didn't like studying, because I am a nerd in real life. Okay, if you haven't figured it out, I am a nerd in real life. It is what it is. And I love to read. I love to study. I love to learn new things. But studying the MCATs, it wasn't fun for me. Right. And then I realized, like, I'm going, like, all of my friends are so excited to go on these different, like, medical school visits and things like that. And I was not excited. I was excited about learning about how they did what they did. I was excited about learning about the honestly the public health aspect of healthcare, and I didn't even realize that was what I was excited about back then. But I realized that I wasn't excited in the same way. And it actually was like a really life-changing moment for me when I realized that all of my friends were so excited about medical school, and I was not. So it actually helped me understanding, like, going back and looking at that dream and, like, honestly asking God and really thinking about, well, why was I so interested in becoming a pediatrician? It helped me figure out and pivot my life. And now I'm in the field of public health, and I loved it. Love it, loved it, love it, love it, because I'm still in the field of public health. And pivoting, being able to understand that why, being able to really look at my dream and not get attached to the actual dream, the actual thing, then it helped me to realize, oh, it wasn't being a pediatrician. It was helping people. It was being a part of the system that can actually give people better health outcomes, right? And that's how I became and started going down my journey of getting my master's in public health and working in the field that I work in now. And it even helped me to understand my desire for coaching people. Like, I want to get people to their next step. Yes, thank you. For my friend says good perspective. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, like, that pivot was necessary for me. And now I'm in the place that I want to be, right? And if I had pushed past, my doubts and became a pediatrician. Now, first of all, I probably wouldn't have been that paid because pediatricians don't get paid enough. Okay. Let me tell you about that. We could talk about that. But anyway, but I would have been paid well. And but I wouldn't have been happy. So I encourage you guys to take a moment, right? And I want you to acknowledge the dream that you left by the wayside because of the busyness of life. I want you to ask yourself why this dream is important. And then I want you to write it down, because in Habakkuk 2:2-3, it says to write it down and make it plain so that the herald can run with it. And a herald is somebody who's an official announcement maker. He's the person that makes sure that everybody knows what you're about to do. So write it down clearly. Okay. All right. Now I am over. I be chatting. Okay. I be having all the things to say. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and close out with prayer. Now, if you want some help with this whole series, if you want some help with that, I have a whole series on my YouTube channel about the stairwell to intentional living. And if you want some one-on-one coaching, definitely hit me up below. Okay. I would love to help you establish and acknowledge your dreams and walk through building an intentional life. Okay. So let's get into this prayer. Lord, help us to acknowledge the dream you gave us. Help us to understand that our dreams are worth dreaming, and they are guides to our ultimate intentional living journey. Lord, thank you. All right, y'all. Well, start remembering that dream and join me next week as we knock out another key in intentional living. Y'all have an awesome day.